Hi, Tom Barnes here at Photokina 2016. I'm here with Yoma on the Sony booth, and we're going to run through the latest flagship Sony full-frame SLR. Yoma, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm very good.
Excellent. So yeah, can you just kind of give me a run through of the kind of the top specs and basically why this camera is so exciting?
Okay, so this is the new Alpha 99 Mark II, and before we had Alpha 99, but it was launched in 2012. So 4 years later, we have this new flagship A-mount model. And what's special is that it has the translucent mirror, of course, inside. If it's, of course, it is an A-mount camera. So it has unique hybrid phase detection autofocus system, which means it has two autofocus sensors. One is dedicated autofocus sensor, 79 points, and then on the image sensor, it also has 399 very wide autofocus points.
That's actually on the sensor itself, those points out?
Yes. So the image sensor itself is same as Alpha 7R Mark II. So you can imagine 7R Mark II has super wide autofocus system. And what's special with this hybrid system is that the center part, we have 79 points cross points autofocus, which is because the image sensor on-chip phase detection AF system is the vertical line detection system. And then dedicated AF sensor is the horizontal line detection system. So all the overlapping part in the center, which is 79 points, works as a cross points.
Okay, that's really interesting. That's really interesting.
Yes. So the benefit of cross points is the detection is very accurate, and you can quickly detect the subject.
And 79 is a huge amount of numbers of cross points.
Yes, exactly. It's absolutely the highest number among the competition.
I mean, by quite a long way as well.
Sorry?
By quite a, it's a huge number by quite a margin. Not many other competitors have anywhere near as many autofocus points.
No, exactly.
Excellent. So what are the advantage of obviously having all those points? Makes it obviously very fast and very accurate.
Very fast, very accurate, and also very wide. So, for example, in A99, they had the 102 points assist points on the image sensor, but this image sensor covers the 47% of entire frame with the autofocus sensor.
Almost half.
Almost half, yeah.
Wow.
In the on the surface, the number it's half, but if you see the screen, it covers almost entire area.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lot. So let's talk about obviously one of the kind of the staples of the A series. It's been the SLT.
It's SLT. Yes.
So for the people who obviously don't know, can you just quickly run people through exactly what that is?
Okay. So SLT is it's about the translucent mirror inside, and this mirror transmits the light into two directions. One is to the image sensor, and the other to the autofocus sensor. So the benefit is that, another point is that this mirror doesn't move. This is the fixed mirror. So the benefit is that the light is always coming to the image sensor, so you can shoot video or you can shoot still images all times with dedicated autofocus sensors. So it contributes to basically the super fast and super accurate autofocus tracking when the continuous shooting.
But also, if the mirror is not moving, you're not getting any blackout in the viewfinder.
It does get the blackout because of the readout from the image sensor.
Okay,
yes.
Right. So obviously the processing of the image does kind of take over, so you do get a small amount of blackout. Exactly. But it's a small amount.
It's a small amount, yes.
Okay.
And for the blackout, we have two modes. That was quite popular in the Alpha 6300, but we have a live view shooting mode, which is 8 frames per second. But what you see in your viewfinder is exactly the same as what you see in the optical viewfinder. So some people who are not used to EVF before complained like with EVF they couldn't track the fast moving subject. But with this mode, it's exactly the same as optical viewfinder.
Right.
So if you're shooting the sports or wildlife, it's absolutely the good function for those people.
And when you're talking about sports and wildlife, obviously burst is obviously a hugely important feature.
Exactly.
How many frames a second can you get off this camera?
It's a 12 frames per second.
12 frames a second in
yes.
full RAW.
In full RAW, yeah. In 42 megapixel, full frame, 12 frames per second.
That's quite a lot.
It's quite a lot. Yeah, it's quite a lot. It's amazing, right?
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
So quickly going back to the mirror.
Yep.
So the mirror doesn't move.
Mirror doesn't move.
But the camera is weather sealed. Is it weather sealed with a rating, or is it just weather sealed?
It's weather sealed.
It's
but,
okay.
We don't have the rating.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
And then so obviously the body and the lenses are weather sealed. When you then go to change lens, say for example I'm in the desert and I get a grain of sand, or if I'm in the rainforest and I get a drop of water on the mirror, how much would that affect the autofocus system? Because obviously the mirror is quite an important part of that.
Exactly. It of course depends on how much dust or how much water you get on the subject. But on the translucent mirror, it's quite easy to remove the dust, or the moisture will be a bit more difficult.
Right. Yeah.
But,
of course.
dust
So
will
it's not incredibly delicate, the mirror.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. If you got the blower, you can just remove the dust very easily.
Right. So it's not you don't have to really worry about it too much.
No.
Okay. So obviously, is it shipping now?
It's shipping in November.
Okay.
It will be available.
And the price point?
Price point will be in Europe. It's going to be 3,600.
Okay.
It's the estimated retail price.
And obviously, everyone can already use all the A-mount lenses for it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. This camera is especially for the A-mount users. It's very beneficial camera because it does this hybrid autofocus detection system.
Going quickly back to the mirror.
Yep.
How, speaking as not going too much in depth, with the mirror that's always there,
yes,
does that cause any loss of transmission of light, or does it have an effect on the image quality?
On the image quality, there is no loss in the image quality because that's the special mirror we developed, and then we adjusted the thickness of the mirror, and also how to flatten properly the mirror is also very important.
Of course.
To avoid the loss of the light.
Any distortion on the mirror.
Exactly. It would cause inaccuracy in the autofocus, also the loss of the light.
Right.
But if you see the mirror, it's very thin.
Yeah.
But it's it's almost transparent. We call it translucent, but it's almost transparent, and it's very flat. So there is no loss in image quality we get from the camera.
And then is there a little bit of, do you lose quarter of a stop of light, or?
No, we don't say how much we lose the light. Of course, it's reflecting the light, so it should be a loss of light. Yeah. But it's very subtle.
Okay.
So in terms of image quality, there is no loss.
Okay. And obviously, does it have a kind of a sensor cleaning technology built in? Or is there a way of moving the mirror up just to clean the sensor?
Yes, it's very easy. You just push this button.
Oh, yep.
And it flips up.
Okay, right.
So you can just blow the image sensor. Yeah. But because this is fixed, you don't get that much dust on the image sensor. That's also the
So is that area sealed? Is that kind of the area underneath is sealed? So when you clip that mirror down,
it's not properly sealed. But
it's kind of sealed enough that you don't get too much dirt in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's really neat. Okay.
And in terms of, if I can talk a bit more about the image quality.
Yeah, sure.
We newly developed the front-end LSI, the IC chip, works together with the X processor. And this contributes to, of course, the transmit the high amount of high volume of data, which also enables this 12 frames per second.
Right.
But also, it improves the image quality, especially in the low ISO range.
That's interesting.
Yes.
That's interesting. Obviously, most people for years have been kind of going on about increasing image quality in the high ISO. But most people have forgotten about the low range, which is one of the most useful ranges.
Exactly.
So, what's the ISO range on this?
ISO range is in the standard 100 to 51,000, but you can expand up to 102,000.
Okay, but you can't expand down.
You can expand down to 50.
To 50.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Exactly. But the quality I was talking about is around ISO 100 to 400. The processor, X processor and front-end LSI works to enhance the details. I mean, not in a bad way, but to reproduce accurately the details.
Okay.
So if you
so what's the base ISO of this sensor then?
Base is 100, ISO 100.
Okay, right. That's actually very low for a modern sensor.
Yes. The base ISO you mean is the lowest standard ISO?
No, the native. the native. So obviously, each sensor is rated to a different kind of base ISO. So on your A7S, for example, when you're shooting an S-Log3, it's rated to 1600 or 2000. So I didn't know if this had a different.
In movie shooing.
Movie shooting, but also just stills in general.
In a still shooting, you can shoot in the expanded range from 50 to 100, 2000.
Okay.
But S-Log shooting is a bit special because to get this flat gamma curve,
you need to deal with it, the data in a separate way. Okay.
Exactly.
Quickly, while we're on the video, so this obviously shoots 4K.
Exactly.
Is it going to have S-Log?
It has S-Log,
S-Log.
S-Log 3, S-Log 2.
Okay, excellent. And does it have clean HDMI out?
Yes, it does.
Okay, full 4K?
Yes, 4K image.
And is it 4K 30, or does it go to 60 as well?
No, it's up to 4K 30p.
Okay, excellent.
But because image sensor is the same as Alpha 7 Now Mark II, if you are shooting in Super 35 format, it does oversampling up to 15 megapixel.
Okay.
So the resolution required for 4K movie is 8 megapixel. So the image quality is made by like 1.8 times more information, which enhances the resolution of the image.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yes, and it's also the 4 pixel without binning.
So
that's really good. This camera is of course A-mount, but for the videographers we have all the functions from the image quality and also like S-Log or HDMI clear out.
That's interesting. So obviously enabling all the people with A-mount to basically have many features from the E-mount series.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a true flagship.
Another obviously thing, this is an image stabilized body. So it's got the 5-axis?
Yes, it got the 5-axis stabilization. A-mount cameras historically had this in-body stabilization, and that was kind of trademark of our...
Well, you guys were the first people to bring it, weren't you?
I'm not sure it was the first.
But you were one of the first. You were early with it.
Exactly. Yeah, but that was a trademark for Alpha. And then, in E-mount we introduced this 5-axis. But now this is the first camera which has the 5-axis stabilization in A-mount. So the benefit is that, of course, in all the A-mount lenses, including our old Minolta, Konica Minolta, or also like third-party lenses, benefits this 5-axis stabilization system.
Okay, excellent. Well, listen, thank you ever so much for kind of running us through that. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you very much.